go.
What's going on, Star Wars fam? It's your bro host, Daniel Miller here. And as always, I am joined by my two bro hosts, Christopher Ryans and Tommy Puig. How you guys doing?
Good.
Awesome. Yo, we've got a great show. We've got an awesome guest, not Chewbacca, but Steele Saunders from the STEELE Wars podcast. Steele, how you doing, man?
I can't deal with the Chewbacca. It's too much.
Yeah.
I just can't stop staring at him to see what he does.
Like every time Tommy will start getting into like something we're talking about, he'll look over at Tommy and start like, just, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What? So he reacts to you talking?
I mean, you
No,
wish,
it just
but
works out that way.
But it's definitely repetitive.
It's all timing.
Yeah.
Man, we've gone too far with technology.
Yeah.
I think.
It's the best. I mean, I think it's great. Sometimes you do get lost looking at them, though. It's
What's up? Are you guys trolling me? Because before we started the show, we were chatting, and behind Dan's screen, I had to like wait for that to run through a full loop because I just couldn't concentrate because I had to see what happened in it, like what ships were going to be in it. And so I explained how grateful I was that it was only 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I said, I'm so glad because I wouldn't be able to concentrate otherwise in the podcast. And you're like going, yeah, that's really good. And then just before we go to start, you put Chewbacca on. Like,
It's the best background.
I feel like
I could change it.
This is a coordinated effort to bring me down. I can't stop staring at him.
I can change it.
Yeah, you're going to change it and it'll be like Neum Num or something.
right.
So I got one. It's a little less distracting.
Oh, no.
We have come too far. It's like what Malcolm says in Jurassic Park,
Or maybe this one.
I'm just going to put like an envelope over his part of the. Oh, stay on target.
I'll do this
Oh
one.
my God.
This one's just...
I'm surprised how well it does without the green screen behind you.
Yeah.
Oh, me?
Yeah, I mean, it's just great that it's even with this, it cuts you out decent enough to do these without a green screen. It's pretty cool.
I hope so. Paid a lot for it.
Chris is the only one that doesn't think he's in the WWF.
Let me tell you something.
Oh,
Oh,
all right.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Yes.
So, Steele, man, thank you for coming on the show. What we do here is, ask you about your journey. I mean, I've seen you interview Daisy Ridley at the Chicago celebration. You have come so far in Star Wars podcasting. You have made a million friends. And
I thought you were going to say dollars. I was like, oh, yes.
But you have gotten to do some really cool things, man. Tell us, like, how you've started and how you got to where you are. Like, I mean, just pretty awesome.
Wow. I'm not sure I'll start and then I'll fast forward. It all started because I walked into a toy shop when I was very little. It's like my first memory in life. And there was just this wall of Star Wars figures, like all the vintage ones. And I remember Greedo and I remember Ponda Baba. Like I remember just like going, what are those dudes up to? Like in the card back, the picture, I was just like, and because there was so many on the wall, not like now when you go into Target and there's like, like 3x3 pegs. Right. This, and in my memory, it's like 30 foot of pegs of these black cards. So I got the Luke X-Wing and took him home and then desperately wanted to find out about what this character was in and stuff. So that's sort of how I started. But how I started with the podcast was I was back in Australia. I live in LA now. And I was doing a ton of stand-up comedy. And I sort of, there was like a time how they have those Apple like investor, they have their Force Friday for Apple people. And and you know, Tim Cook comes out now and says what's going to come out. Well, they had this thing. I'd watch it because I was like fascinated about the iPhone, and they said they were putting podcasts, which was something that I'd heard of, but sort of didn't sort of look into. We're going to be on the iTunes like store, so you could look on iTunes. Before that, like you had to find. I don't even know how. You had to find the RSS feeds.
Right.
So they put podcasts into iTunes so you could just click on it, and they dumbed down how to get it. You know, you just sort of shopped around the iTunes store. So I was just like, because I'm just like a nerd about everything I'm into. Like I just want to know too much about it. And so I was just like typing in stand-up comedy, like skateboarding, and then Star Wars. And just got into them then. I remember listening to like the Force Cast when...
Yes, I remember those guys.
No, but this was like... Oh, who was hosting it? It was like...
Force.net? Was it those guys?
Yeah, but it was... I can't remember who it was, but it was one guy by himself, and he reviewed Revenge of the Sith. That's how old it was.
Mm.
Like, I remember where I was where I was living at the time. I know the street I was driving down when I was listening, because the podcast was only like 15 minutes. And, you know, it never had the same format. It was just like, it was what he decided to do that week or that month. And yeah, I remember driving down and listening to him review Revenge of the Sith. And so then from there, I just started bouncing around and listening to a few. But at the same time, I started my own podcast called I Love Green Guide Letters, which the Green Guide's the television guide in Australia. And then on the 5th page of each issue, there is the reader letters. So it's like I Love Green Guide Letters, because the letters that people write into the TV guide are bonkers, right? Because who like watches a TV show, has a thought about it, then thinks I'm going to write to the newspaper about it, and then the hardest bit, actually doing it, right? So,
right, yeah.
so you're sort of like
they got to put it.
They
in
got to
an
be
envelope.
dedicated. Yeah.
Well, they move with technology. You could email, but
I know.
still,
I'm just saying.
right? Do you know what I mean? But it used to be old school posting, right?
Yeah.
So because I knew so many comedians in Australia, I'd have them on, and then it grew to a point where I'd have the people that are on TV getting complained about would come on to defend themselves, you know, jokingly against these letters. So we had, you know, the equivalent of like Australia's like Kent Brockman, like on the show, like one of the most respected newsreaders. So it was super fun. I'm trying to think of American. Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, Mankind. He guested on it once, and Brennan Burns. And if you like watch the, what's it called? Comedy Central. What is The Daily Show? Yeah. Ronnie Chang, who's we started out doing comedy together. So he was on the podcast heaps and stuff. So then Star Wars got bought out by Disney, and I had this weird thing of, well, these new Star Wars films are going to come out, and, you know, I do stuff, you know, little things on TV and stuff back home. And I was like, when it comes out, they're going to have like, you know, people hosting specials and interviewing people and stuff.
Coverage all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah. And they used to always in Australia have like the weekend before the movie would come out, they'd have a special with like, they'd be at Skywalker Ranch or something to hype it up. That's how they used to do it, like on mainstream TV. And I was like, oh, I'd love to be that, to do, like, I'm the perfect person. I've been on TV, I know about Star Wars and very passionate about it. And then I was like, oh, maybe if I do a podcast about it, I can sort of see what happens with that. And at the time, my wife lived in America and I lived in Australia. So I had a lot of free time. And I was essentially like super lonely. And I sort of was like, I was like, I'll do another podcast, because then I get to talk to more people that week. And I just had so much time, so I could just put a lot of energy into it. And then, funnily enough, when Harrison Ford came out for The Force Awakens, I did get to interview him at the Sydney Opera House for Channel 10 back home and stuff. So that was it was kind of weird to like set that thing, and then it all sort of worked out in a weird way. If you set your goals in life like super low,
you don't get disappointed.
You can probably get them.
Yeah, you don't disappoint yourself.
Set them low. The sky's the limit.
Set them low and fun. That's
exactly. I mean, I feel like a lot of the podcasting with Star Wars is just have some fun. You know, I mean, you gotta be precise with putting stuff out so people keep being interested in everything, but at the same time, you don't want it to be dragging you down mentally or anything.
Yeah, well, I always talk about on the show is like the sort of mantra of how does it go? Love Star Wars like a child, dislike Star Wars like an adult. So, when you're watching the trailer and stuff, and I get into the trailers, and I let myself go and get to be 12 years old for a little bit and stuff. But then when something doesn't go your way, you sort of got to kick back and like cut off that adrenaline.
Yeah.
Right.
And sort of go, like, I can, complain about this. That's fine. And like, there's nothing I love more than like making jokes about the things that I both love and dislike about Star Wars. So yeah, you just got to keep, like it's like Courtney from Squadron Goals has the little badge. It's like it's faking in space. So like,
did Harrison Ford say that to Oscar Isaac?
Yes, yeah. She made a little badge of it in the Star Wars one. It's very cool. So yeah, it's just like celebrate the highs and lows and critique it and stuff. But it's like, it is what it is, man. It's like it's a film, made for kids that it's so good that everyone loves, and it's just like use it. Same with anything, use it to help yourself. But if it becomes a bummer, like I've just started skateboarding again to train because my son Harrison's about to turn 2 and he's very interested in skateboarding. So I wanted to sort of get back into it so when he's old enough, I can take him to the skate park and show him how to do tricks and stuff. Yeah. And skateboarding is exactly the same, is like, try to do tricks and get frustrated when you don't make them and celebrate when you do make them and how good just skateboarding down the street is. Like just this simple freedom. You feel 12 again. Yeah. But if you're sweating over a trick and you're losing your temper and throwing your board, it's like, oh, you've blown it. You've ruined fun.
Yeah.
And there's still that room there's still that room to like, when you don't make a trick to, like yell, like just like, it's a good to use that to get that adrenaline out and sort of muck about
there's nothing better than gapping like 10 stairs 10 stairs.
Oh
yeah. Like hitting I'm not
going
anywhere near anything with 10 stairs on my skateboard.
That's it's on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. That's the only way I'm doing it.
That's a strict walk up or down with the board while being careful I don't twist my ankle on the stairs. 10 stairs are 10 years ago for me.
I had a bike, like maybe 5-6 years ago, that was like in my garage. And I was like, there's these old trails that I used to ride when I was a kid, and I was unbreakable. I could do whatever, I'd fall on the ground, handlebars would go into my stomach or whatever, and I'd still get back up and go and do it again. Whatever, no big deal.
Not anymore.
This time I just jumped over these little rhythm doubles, and the pedal came back, smacked me in the shin, and I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I was like, I got work tomorrow. I got to make money.
Oh man.
Oh man.
The white hot pain of the shin.
Oh God.
Just you just want to
curse the world.
How about when you get that? How about when you get that credit card swipe when you with the skateboard going up and down vertically and you land on it?
It's
That's,
been a long time since I've had that. But how's this,
brutal.
right? How's this? I remember in high school, this really funny dude, actually, Richard Connolly. He got the board up the tuckers,
Ooh.
and it sent a like a bump 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 bump, and it gave him a concussion.
Oh,
Right?
Wow.
oh. So it's like reverbed up his back.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Ooh, that's
So,
rough.
Because
so that's kind of like, you know, that bomb that they have in episode 2, the seismic bomb. So that happened down there, and it went all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made that noise.
Oh man. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. You okay? Damn, that sounded amazing.
I remember seeing that at Attack of the Clones in the cinema on the opening at the premiere thing. Like they had a fan club premiere in Melbourne, and looking at the wall the first time that noise happened, like, because the way the speakers on the side of him, just looking at the wall, was like, whoa, wall, you need to chill out. That was incredible.
Yeah, that was awesome. And it actually kind of reminded me of like that noise reminded me of when the Supremacy was split, you know, where we had that moment of silence and then it blew up. Kind of gave me that like same little
Yeah.
feeling from those.
Yeah,
those
real
seismic
similar
charges.
actually.
Yeah, a little bit.
But you know, when you watch one for the first time, I'm like this. I'm like super, like I'm sweating it. Like I'm like, just be good, keep being good, keep being good, please. Yep. No. Okay, be good again. Well, I remember watching Attack of the Clones and that noise happening in my head, sort of just like looking at the wall and congratulating the wall on its amazing work, but also going, good sound effect, good new sound effect. Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, that's well done. Couldn't get a better one than that.
No,
But
that was amazing.
And that the one with the holdo remove, is that what you're talking about? The holdo maneuver? The split?
Yeah.
So I saw that in America. It was on the Monday. This is very confusing. I saw it on Monday night. They had like a press screening thing for Disney, and then I got straight after that. I drove to the airport and flew to Australia. I was living in America at the time, but I flew back to Australia because we were doing like a premiere thing there, and so I left on the Monday, arrived on the Wednesday because you miss a day. And then that night was the premiere, but it was only just one night really. And because I'd seen it already, when the holdo maneuver was about to happen, and because I was sort of towards over on the side, I just watched the audience and it all lights up white. And it was just like, like all through. It was such a really magical thing.
I don't remember anyone breathing during that time. Like I saw it a few times in the theater. I don't remember anyone breathing during that scene whenever that happened.
Didn't they actually have to put a disclaimer or something up like later on to like say something about that part in the movie or something? I heard there was like a disclaimer that there's going to be a moment of silence and that it's just part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
turn it up.
Yeah. It's like that Patton Oswalt bit was like just like those one people that can't handle one moment of silence in a tense moment.
Yeah.
It's just like, shit, like they just have to curse or say something.
But that's like the Attack of the Clones. The Attack of the Clones one too. It goes silent, then it's like,
yeah.
For the holdo maneuver in my theater, as soon as it happened, theater was silent. All I heard was, "Damn."
Man.
A very classic Australian reaction was for Rogue One when Tarkin turned around and you realized there was like a CGI Tarkin.
Yeah.
All through the audience. So there's like 800 people, hardcore Star Wars fans, 12 o'clock at night, Wednesday night. He turns around and you just hear a ripple of swear words. Like people going, beep, shit. And like it was just like, you could just hear people swearing because they were so shocked.
That was me.
That was such a good reveal. That was like the Undertaker streak guy. You know, the guy when the Undertaker lost his streak and he's like,
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. That poor jerk. Yeah, he was expecting Undy to win that one.
Yeah. Poor jerk. I from what I know, he loves his infamy as the Undertaker. Like he really I think
he's dug into it. Is he like the Brock Lesnar shirt guy? You know, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the guy, he comes wearing the same shirt, like he's in the audience, like
I think so, yeah. But I think that Undertaker guy like sold T-shirts like of himself, which is exactly like
marketing,
enterprising, right there.
That's the sort of thing that I go, that's what I would have done. I always admire like a hustle like that, where I'm like, that's good.
1 minute of fame,
He's got his rent paid. He's good. He's got his rent paid. Back to Rogue One for a second. I remember when I first saw that, and I always thought they were just going to show Tarkin from the back. I never thought they were going to turn him around or anything like that. Because I'm like, really? I was not thinking it. So my theater was silent because we're all Star Wars fans in that theater. And when he turns around and he's talking, all you hear is me yell. You hear me yell, whisper. I was like, holy shit. They did it. Like that's all you hear. Like I'm just like, oh, oops. But that was. I always thought that was done. I always thought that was done spectacularly. I love that part.
I definitely thought that out of all the movies, that's the most like CGI editing we have ever gotten. Like when it comes to people and their faces, like humans. You know, like they gave us young Leia, which some people complained. I thought looked good.
I thought it looked good too.
I was like, it is what it is. Like, it's bloody hard.
Yeah,
it didn't really interfere with the film. Like,
no.
So it's like, it's not perfect, but you kind of have to admire like the swing for the lights or whatever.
Yeah. So you
might as well give it a try.
You keep mentioning Attack of the Clones. Is that one of your favorites?
Yeah, man, I love Attack of the Clones.
Well, Dad's your best friend now.
Well, look, guys, it's one of the most crucial films in the whole saga, and it's got so much crap over the years. And when I hear people talk about it, I just I gush a lot.
I will say though, it does have some of the worst Star Wars scenes of all time, but it's just got some bangers as well. Like
the dick riding,
Oh,
I can't do it.
Like, what about this dude?
Wait.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, this is such a drag.
Die, Jedi scum.
What did I say?
I can't. Did you make that, or is that like a figure? That's real,
dude. I see. I collect. Like if I don't like something in Star Wars, I want to buy it. Like I collect. So I've got like I'm trying to put together like a shelf of like the worst moments in Star Wars.
Shelf of shame.
Because I feel like if I purchase the item and obtain it and have it there, I've tamed my dislike. I own it.
I'm gonna learn to love it.
I like it.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna learn to love it.
I need one of the people using their one of the Inquisitors using their lightsabers as the helicopter.
That never bothered me. I don't know. That never bothered me.
Dude, you are wrong.
But apparently that their lightsaber, the handles have repulsors in them, and that explained that that makes them fly. So I was like, all right, I'll accept it.
At Celebration in London, which would have been
4 years ago.
Yeah, it would have been 2016, maybe.
Was that Orlando? Would you say Orlando?
No, in London.
In Europe.
Oh, London.
Yeah,
they had
in the UK. Yeah,
they had like a press conference for Rebels, and I did ask Dave Filoni. I'm like, so when you do stuff like that helicopter deal, like, does it shock you when there's such a big reaction to it? Like, because you got to do it like a year ago, and then it comes out, and it's like, that's the thing that everyone's talking about. And I can't remember what his answer was, but it was funny to ask. But this, right, is actually an SH Figure Arts. So it's like this like highly detailed figure from Japan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I thought it would be rad to get like the best possible interpretation
Of what you hate.
of just like, honestly, like as a Star Wars fan and a comedian, that scene is offensive. All right. It's so bad. And it's one of those rare ones in the film where you're watching it and you're instantly just like, I hate this. Like, stop. And then you keep saying stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've just survived like the jetpack R2 as well. That sort of rocked me. And then so that's like, I'm sort of like balancing. Then C-3PO comes up with his new head and he's like, bang, knockout punch. And that scene though, that whole scene on Geonosis, one of the best ever.
Yeah.
I'm so conflicted about Attack of the Clones because like this is the worst thing ever. It's in one of the best things ever. But then the whole thing is also so CG. I never buy it as real. Like I feel like I'm watching a cartoon, but I love it all.
You know, I feel like whatever they did to the new, like however they rendered it when they put it on Disney Plus, the CG actually looks so much smoother now. I'm
What?
telling
So
you,
the clone troopers look better?
they look a little better. Like everything looks just a little better. It doesn't stick out as much to me as it used to. I don't know if maybe that's age wearing on me, but
the worst part of episode 2 was the romance between Anakin and Padme. That part where they're going into the Coliseum. I cringe every time.
I feel like Chris kind of explained it to me a little bit where it's like, this is a guy who's spent all of his time.
Oh, bro, he's had no
game.
Women.
No one's taught him any.
Zero game.
He's never been taught how to talk to a woman. He doesn't know what he's doing.
What are you talking about? Are you an angel? That's clicked for me several times.
That was young Anakin. That was young Anakin.
Yeah, I mean,
young Anakin had game.
Yeah,
that should have been enough to hook her at that point. But
Obi-Wan held him back. He was right. He was right. Obi-Wan held him back.
What about if they did like a cartoon between the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, and Anakin just says, "Are you an angel?" to like every girl he meets.
Are you an angel? Yeah.
And Qui-Gon Jinn comes together as a Force ghost, and he's like, "Are you an angel?"
He's like, "Dude, stop it!" He's like, "Stop it! Stop it!
Anakin, you need to stop that.
Stop using that line."
So when it comes to Star Wars, like, you know, you've got people who like to make the lightsabers. You've got people who like to collect the figures, who like to build the droids. There's so many different corners of this fandom that everyone has their own thing. Like my man Chris here, he's got almost every Pop figure and Black Series figure that's out. And
why have you got that screen then? Is there figures behind you?
Oh, I think those are the comic book covers.
Oh, that? Yeah, these are the comic covers of the action figure variants of the comic.
Yeah, but like, where's every Pop? How come they're not behind you?
Oh, they're in my living room.
Okay. It's got so much.
Yeah, they're in my living room
everywhere.
I just have like my if you can see it, it's like just a whole bunch of the black characters from Star Wars.
Ah, sick.
So you know, I gotta rep. So
nice.
But so,
can I ask?
Oh yeah.
How many Pops is almost every Pop?
I don't know.
Have you counted?
Well, I've got. I don't know if I have every, but I've got. I said I was only going to get one. I was like, I wanted Finn and I wanted Darth Vader. Like that was it. Like I was going to get Finn and Darth Vader, and then find the Lando.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris.
Famous words.
No. You started out like a junkie straight away. This is what you said. This is what you said. This is what you said. This is recorded. Hey. So I said I was just going to buy one, and then you mentioned the 2 figures you bought.
Right. If I get them, I'm just going to get those guys. I'm just going to get those 2.
Well, that's already 2. So that's
already
like. So you should have said, I'm just going to get 2. Like you were dishonest with yourself from the start. You said, I'm going to get 1. I'm going to make a list of 1. And on that list of 1 were 2. All right. So that's where you're cheating yourself through this.
Yeah,
and look at you now.
Look at me now. 80 some odd pops later. Yep.
It's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of pops
and that's
out there
just the
too.
Star Wars one. That's not even going by my Saved by the Bell pops or my Masters of the Universe pops or my Scrubs pops or my Prince pops or my Randy Savage pops or my New Day pops or I got it all. I got my G.I. Joe pops.
I'm just gonna call you Pops.
Pops.
It's popping. I'm out of here.
Papa Chris.
Yeah, I can't help it. I can't help it.
But as I was saying, what is your, like, is there anything that you do besides the podcasting with Star Wars stuff? Like, do you like to collect the figures, like, or is it just whatever Star Wars stuff you run into? Like,
I changed, like, during, like, the prequels and the new era of Hasbro, like, from Power of the Force 2, 96, I was all about figures. Get every figure. And then around Attack of the Clones came out, the figures sort of got a little bit chintzier.
Yeah.
And
because they were all in action poses already.
Yeah.
You couldn't really move them like anything. Yeah, it was just.
And like wrists would fall off straight away and spoil plot points in the movie. And I just sort of realized I wasn't opening them straight. Like I was sort of just like buying them out of, necessity, out of being like you, Chris. Yeah. And so then I sort of stopped getting. That's when I was like, I'll just collect the original ones. I'll get the set of 96 or whatever it is, and they're not going to add any more. So there's not going to be any new ones that come out that I don't like, because I'm sort of like got to get them all mentality. So if one's like, because they brought out Tatooine Luke, and he had a new hat, like from the deleted scene.
Yep.
And that Simpsons episode where Malibu Stacy gets a new hat?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, but it's got a new hat. Like, so I was living this in the Toys R Us, and I was like, I'm Seymour Skinner now. Not Seymour Skinner, I'm Waylon Smithers. So then I collected the vintage ones sort of very slowly, and they were worth a lot less then, which was great. And then I sort of just started collecting like memories, sort of like actually doing stuff and having memories, but buying things like if there was a convention exclusive at a convention, I'd get that to have that thing, but also remember.
It was a memento.
Yeah. So like at the Comic Cons when they had the First Order Stormtrooper for, when TFA was getting sizzled there and stuff. And this one, I'll get this one down. This one's a combo. This one's on my worst things in Star Wars and a memento. So this is a twofer. This is the Celebration Chicago Darth Maul cut in half plushie.
Oh, that's awesome. I remember seeing that there. Yeah.
I didn't get that.
Because I hate Darth Maul coming back from the dead. I think it's... I thought it was so goofy.
Yeah, it wasn't one of your things.
No, and like I sort of thought, if you're going to have a brother, make the brother just fill in that, have Savage Opress, maybe get a new name, but have him do it. But however, whilst I don't like him coming back, like in Rebels and in that Siege of Mandalore, like he was so good. So, but like I'm still. Like, it's like, I don't like he came back, but they did it very well. So, so I got this because I just think him being a spider, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So this is the thing, this part of my like shelf, now that I've got it, I can really emotionally come to terms with it. Because it does make me happy. Like I love it. I think it's funny. It's up there. And then,
what's this? What is
this? One's the BB-8 driving an AT-ST
awesome.
In The Last Jedi.
That part was awesome.
I didn't like it when I first saw it. I sort of like it. I like it. I think they should have just done it a bit more mellower, like maybe not with the roof ripping out perfectly for him or something.
Right.
Like that'd be a bit more believable. Like, you know, like it was a lot more commercial how they did it. So, yeah, someone got me this, and so now it's like therapy that I'm with them each day, just like going, you're not so bad. I actually enjoy. I enjoy that scene a lot, and this one's probably my the best one. So, if I could ask, I'm genuine about this, by the way. If I could ask George Lucas one question, and not like if I was at a press event where I had to get like a proper, but if it was like, if he could give me his full attention and he had to answer this question in the fullest way, what I would want to know is how he got the inspiration to make the rock bigger in front of R2-D2 in the Star Wars Blu-ray. Like, you know how like he's hiding from Ben Kenobi.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, don't be afraid, little friend. Come here. You know, whatever. Or hello there or whatever. So in the Blu-ray, he CGI'd this big rock in front of him. Like R2-D2's in a cave, but now he's like CGI'd this rock. And it doesn't even look like R2 could possibly get out like of the space. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
he rocketed himself out of there.
that's good. That is good Star Wars thinking. I appreciate that, Chris. But right. So this whole thing just befuddles me because so you've got this guy, George Lucas, right? He made all these films. He made like $10 billion. And he had all these special effects. And he had in his head how he wished it to be. And that's why he kept changing it because he was so frustrated.
Well, like that big ass door.
Yeah, right. And there's this thing in comedy that like, if you mess up a joke, the crowd doesn't know what you're going to say. Like if you forgot something, the crowd doesn't know that you forgot that. So don't tell them. Like, don't want you to remember, go, oh, I forgot to do this. Like they don't know. It's all like a magic trick. So Star Wars that George Lucas put out, we didn't know what he wanted in all those scenes. We just watched what he did and it was dope. Right.
Yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
he's like going, oh, I wish I had more ships in like Tatooine or whatever. And I'm like, oh no, that was the best. Must like wretched hive of scum and villainy, right? So he's got all these effects. He's got all this stuff going on. He sits back in like, I don't know, 2010, whenever he's doing this Blu-ray. He watches Star Wars and he's like, you know, I always wanted a rock in front of that droid. Like we were out like in Tunisia, we were filming live, but I always just wished
Put a rock there.
only we had a rock. So, right, when out in California, I went to Death Valley and you can go to that ravine where like I don't think the cave shot is from there, but there's a shot of him going down the ravine that is in California.
Yeah.
So when I went there, I thought I'd get a bit J.J. Abrams and get some real sets practical effects. So I got a real rock, right, from there. And then I sit my vintage R2-D2 just behind him. It's pretty good, yeah?
You nerd. No, just kidding. Oh man, I love it. I mean, I'm saying that as I have I got my Luke sitting right here in front of me because I need my friends. There he is. This is
nice. Is that like
this is Papoose, Yoda, and Luke right there training.
What era of figure is that? I can't it's a bit bright.
Yeah,
I know.
It just came out. It's a 2-pack. It's a ESP. It's what I'm training on Dagobah.
Yeah, 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, I always think about that too with the special effects because it seemed like there's like there's different. He's done it like a couple of times, and then like in A New Hope when they pull into Mos Eisley, you know, first they're just like in the first movie, whatever the first like issue of it, they're just they pull in and there's nobody walking in front of them, and then like the next special editions, there's like a couple people walking in front of them, and like there's some more stuff going on. And there's like
listen, man, that's the one thing that George said, and as a filmmaker, I can agree with this. This is like a movie is never released; it escapes. So
there's
always something more you can do.
Then,
like every quick shot we do.
But when he put out the Blu-ray, it was like he threw everything in front of the screen. He was just like, I want the whole market walking in front of Luke and Obi-Wan when he pulls up.
When he was making the prequels, I remember there was like a documentary where he's watching, I think, one of the cuts for, I want to say, The Phantom Menace, and you could hear him audibly say, I think we've gone too far.
Oh, dude. The beginning documentary, that thing is the best. Like you watch it now and you can't believe they put that much stuff in it. Like one of the like that bit is dope where he just goes, oh, and then like McCullum's just like his head's just like, yeah. But the bit at the start where he comes into ILM and he starts like marking like real, fake, real, and then it goes to like this guy looking at the camera and he's just like. Like he's so in shock. He's a gun. Love that guy.
Yeah. So this past weekend was the Hasbro Pulse Con. Is that what it was called? I keep forgetting what that thing was called. But
Hasbro Pulse Con.
Yeah. And so many dope releases that are coming out for that thing as far as the Black Series figures go and everything. But you brought up something that blew my mind, and it made me misspell like my response to you on your live chat about the Rosario Dawson picture. It totally looks like her. Like I think they messed. That was an oopsie. They definitely oopsied that one. I think
that was Rosario on there. That was her.
That's no doubt. No donut. No donut. That was definitely her.
If it's not, then it shows that she's perfectly casted as Ahsoka Tano. Like, do you know what I mean? If you're not, if it's not her, then it looks like her. Mm-hmm. Probably should be her.
It should be her.
Yeah.
But I wonder if we'll be able to find out one day if it was of her or not. Because, God, I'd like to go on about it.
Yeah. So how have you? I mean, so here we go. Mandalorian. Who is your favorite character, but why is it Toro?
Toro Calican.
I do not get the hate for that character. Because I like that character, and I blew my mind. I was like, "Oh, he's cool. You know, he's starting out as a bounty hunter. You know, he's going to be sort of a douche. You know, but
I thought he was a douche.
Yeah, but I was like, all right, we'll see how he goes. It's like, oh, they killed him. So we can't get any more. We can't get more adventures with him.
No, they shot him.
Online,
no, they just shot him.
Yeah. And then people online were like, "He sucks." I was like, "What? Oh, he's fun. Come on."
Well, that episode of The Mandalorian, episode 5, The Gunslinger. Oh, great stuff. I was thrilled. Like it's sort of like the least what they should do with that show, like, because it's so reference heavy, but that was sort of just their one episode to really
yeah.
And the cool thing was they don't post up like a next week trailer or anything. You just watch it for the first time. So I'm watching it Friday morning, and when it comes up Tatooine Control, like when he's on, so you work out it's Tatooine, I was just like, what? This is like, it's Friday morning. I'm just sitting on my seat in front of the TV. Like, no one warned me I was going back to Tatooine.
Right.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Icy Planet with like the thing coming out where Brian Posehn drives a taxi. Yeah, that's cool. Whatever. But if you're going to Tatooine, give me some warning.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So I was just like, the whole thing, I was just like, like Cantina, and now there's like droids working in there, and like
not only they're back at Mos Eisley. It's not even like they were at some other spaceport
or something like that. Yeah, they were.
And
there's
that shot where he walks up the laneway, and it's sort of the camera pans up, and you can see like there's blocks of, and I was just like, how is this happening so seamlessly? It was just incredible.
Show has been beautiful.
And so I love Toro because he's part of that, he's like a big part of that. And he's such a cliche character. And you're meant to think he's a douche.
Yep.
And and the fact that like people don't like him just makes it's so much more delicious to like him. Like there's nothing more fun than you liking something annoying someone else.
Yeah.
But I think he's cool. I have a lot of fun with him. And this is the thing, in all seriousness, right? I can't remember what it was. Probably, it doesn't matter because I probably wouldn't even say what it was if I could remember. But I was sort of bummed out about something one morning. And then I went on Twitter and someone had posted me this really funny Toro GIF, whatever. My day was turned around. I was like, yeah, Toro. And I was like, oh my God, Toro just cheered me up.
Yeah.
So I love him.
Yeah.
Like if a character can cheer you up, dude, it's like, who doesn't want to be bloody cheered up in 2020?
Speaking of that episode of The Gunslinger, at the very end, we get that, mysterious figure with the Spurs. So considering you're not a fan of Maul returning, how would you feel if that was indeed Boba Fett returning?
Dude, all right. I'm going to take one for the team. One of my best friends from the Blue Harvest podcast, Hors Burkhardt, is just massive. Yeah, best dude. He's like a total Boba Fett mark. And he just loves him to death. And he's had so many near misses. Do you know what I mean? Like there was, what's his name? The Fantastic Four guy, Josh Trank. He tranked all over the set, apparently.
Yeah.
There was that James Mangold. It was sort of rumored Tatooine movie that sort of didn't happen. That was going to have. Like, there's been all these Boba Fett near misses.
Yeah.
And this dude, he can't take any more. Do you know what I mean? He's
it's time.
Like if you've had like a few minor heart attacks, like the next one could take you out. So I just can't have it taken away. I will say this about that is when he walks up, there's two sound effects that are Boba Fett sound effects. One from the special editions and one from Empire Strikes Back. Star Wars Special Edition, Empire Strikes Back. So if it's not Boba Fett, these are cruel people making this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because how can you throw in these like
Cues.
such and then not come through with it? Now it could be that what's his name, Card Vance or whatever.
Yeah. Please let that be the case.
So Chris, you don't want Boba Fett to come back?
Nah.
Dude, why do you hate Hors? What's wrong with Hors?
That guy. No, I'm like, all right.
Sorry,
Hors likes donuts, mate. Chill out.
No, to me, Boba had he had his time, and
He didn't have a lot of time.
No.
Dude, when you think
he got
about
a lot
it,
of time to digest in the Sarlacc. But
Boba Fett, like, he's so cool, but he's just like a very well-dressed Inspector Gadget. Like nothing works. Like he goes into the side of like the skiff, and it's brutal. This is like and like I always think about it. It's such a.
I just want to know, like, what more can they do to for his story?
I've said
that's
this.
just my thing with Boba.
I've
like
said
people
this,
have like Halls. People have what I call a Boba fetish. They love the costume and all that kind of stuff. And he looks cool, but to me, there's not enough. There maybe not enough story, behind that outside of what we've got from, the Clone Wars.
Well, I think what it is that with Boba Fett is because there's still no clarification as far as because he's wearing Mandalorian armor, but there's no clarification for sure of what the deal is with that. Are you Mandalorian or are you not?
Oh, he's definitely.
I know they said he's not, but there's like no reasoning as to why.
Right.
now it's like you don't have to be of Mandalore to be a Mandalorian. It's a creed now. So
But they Mandalorians have called them imposters. It's called Django and Boba imposters.
But that was a certain part of the Mandalorian culture that isn't really upholding to the old tradition.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, so.
hopefully for Haz's sake and his heart and all of his feelings, might be Boba Fett. I don't know. I'm thinking like they've got all of these things that we're already expecting, kind of like Ahsoka coming into the show. Like they hid Baby Yoda from us in the Darksaber. What are they hiding? What are you hiding, Dave Filoni? What do you got in your back pocket? And Favreau, both of you guys.
Well, one thing's for sure is we're gonna see a lot of. I mean, we have to because it's already been hinted that we're gonna see at least some Jedi culture, Jedi history. The Mandalorian's gonna have to try to seek out the Jedi. That's his mission. So,
Steel.
yeah,
But
maybe Zepho.
Oh,
Ilos.
have you played that
Elos.
Steel Jedi Fallen Order?
No, I watched the movie though.
Oh, okay.
I watched the bootleg of, like on YouTube. I video games just don't fit into my schedule at all. So I like making stuff. Because I was going to get whatever you had to get Battlefront 2. Because I was like, I need to follow this. You remember when you thought everything was going to add to this big story?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I won't be able to understand Star Wars unless I get, or do you know what I mean? I won't have the insight, and it's just all just like whatever. But so I was going to get it, and then I was like, when am I going to have time to play this? And when I play it, I'm going to feel so guilty because I hadn't evolved up with video games, so it wasn't part of my culture. So it would be adding something. Like, it's not like you guys where maybe you've been playing all these other games. It's like, now I'm just going to play the Star Wars one. So it wasn't part of my activities. So I always just thought, like, I just like to relax. Strangely, I just like editing podcasts and putting videos together and stuff like that. So that's sort of my little video game.
But you can watch
whereas I could just double down. I could just post up video of me playing the video game, and then I'd be that's one stone. But I that whole culture of watching people play video games is like
You can't do Twitch.
Yeah.
Well, I get if it makes people happy, and it does, that's great. But I doesn't. Like, I can't get into the mindset where that could possibly be.
Everybody has their own thing.
Worth your time. Yeah.
But to me, those games have been like,
It's like Chris and his pops. Everyone's got their own thing.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Right, Chris? You need more of those pops, right? Pops.
But those video games to me have been like Fallen Order and the Infernal Squad story have been like, for me, like those are my favorite stories from the new canon so far. So when I see, when I see in that Mando trailer, they're going to that icy planet trying to find, this Jedi religion, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, they're going to Ilos or Elos.
Ilum.
What the hell? Ilos. I'm sorry. That's Mass Effect.
Oh my traitor.
Dude, you said that so confidently, Chris, that I was like, I've never even heard of that planet. I'm not a Star Wars fan. You said it with such conviction. I was like, see, I did need to play that game. I don't know about the planet Ilos.
Sort of mixing it in there. Oops.
There's a connection there with Mass Effect and Star Wars is Drew Carpishian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to admit though, like the comic books, like with the Vader comics and stuff, they have been killing it with the extra, like, connective tissue to the movies and stuff like that.
Really?
If you ever get yourself a chance to pick up a like the trade paperback Steel of like Charles Soule's run or Kieran Gillen's of the Vader, if you're a Vader fan, really good stuff. How they tie in a lot of like Vader's psyche with like the prequels and all of that, and it's been really
you can
cool
get teasers
stuff.
of that on BROAXIUM.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. But
yeah, I see a lot of good buzz for it. I sort of got out of the comics. Like when it started, I was all in, and I've got like tons of the new ones. But then it just got, it was annoying me more than it was entertaining. So I was just like,
there's so many,
and also like they're not cheap, man. To like,
no, I don't know.
And when you got like a little boy and stuff, it's sort of just like, well, is this what you should be doing, sort of thing. So I sort of bailed on that, but I'm kind of keen to check out some of those Vader ones and stuff because it sounds like there's some good stuff going on.
Yeah, the Vader ones, like if you love the prequels, like like we all do, they definitely add more weight to like Naboo culture and things there are these novels, The Queen's Peril and Queen's
Gambit.
Shadow.
Queen Shadow and Queen's Peril. Those books and this current Darth Vader run, like that first arc that they had for the Darth Vader run, taught you so much about Naboo and those handmaidens and what they were doing, since Padme's passing and everything. Oh, so
has
good.
a whole squad of people that want to kill Darth Vader called the Amidalans. It's insane. She's got a whole squad, dude.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
Like they were people.
What's that from? Is that from the novel?
It's from the comic books. These people are going out of control.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
army of Amidalans.
So that's in Darth Vader.
Yeah,
sounds like an 80s.
It's Captain Typho, it's Rick Ollier, all of them. You see them all come together. They want to take down the person they feel is responsible for Padme's as well as Anakin's death. So they're going after Darth Vader.
Yeah,
that's so messed up.
That sounds like an 80s punk band though, the Amidalans.
Right?
Yes,
it does.
I have to find that comic because I just want to see that word printed, like Amidala.
When I read it, I was like, "Yeah, that does sound like band name." It was pretty funny.
It sounds like late '90s Raylo or something. The Amidala.
So Steele, with Mandalorian coming out, what has been your hopes for season 2?
The resurrection of Toro.
I was going to say, apart from the inevitable return of Toro, imagine if he came back in episode 5. Oh, it's like poetry.
Yeah,
it'd be so dope. I like tiptoeing into the Jedi culture is very exciting. I love Jedi, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about all the rumored characters that are going to be in it, but I'm just amped. Like, I love the first one. It exceeded my expectations, just phenomenally, because my expectations weren't high because they kept secret the Force, that there was going to be a Force component. So the Force is my favorite. So, they've earned my trust. So I'm sort of just don't really know where it's going to go. Yeah. I sort of watched the trailer and you can sort of piece together little plot points or whatever, but it doesn't give you the I'm sure I've probably seen nothing from the last 4 episodes or that can tell me anything. So I'm just excited for the ride. I can't wait. Every Friday we get to watch this thing and be spectacularly. Well, this is what was the first one, and how much worse can it be? But just really excited every Friday. I'm just looking forward to that. So, I love the characters and they do such good work. So I'm just want to see where they've decided. And the whole talk of Giancarlo Esposito was talking about, he mentioned it's stuff you find out about him in season 4.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And just to do Star Wars the justice of a multi-season show that is being planned out and it's getting sowing seeds, the fact that we had those boots in episode 5, The Gunslinger.
Yeah.
Toro Calican, Team Toro.
Yeah.
Calican crew. That's probably going to get paid out on, or paid off. Yeah. With when he returns to Tatooine in season 2, just stuff like that. And there's a few other things that I don't know, there's a few other characters that are going to come back that the seeds were sown that aren't really reported. I don't know. Do you want me to do you want to talk? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Bill Burr and that gang. I know Bill Burr's I've got it on high authority that Bill Burr's been down there to film stuff.
I need to see Star Wars.
Awesome.
Boston.
I love Boston, and Star Wars is the best ever.
Dude, he's the best. That character, he's a really cool guy. and to see him like betray himself in Star Wars,
Yeah.
it's so rad. It's so
I just
rad.
wonder how much of that was ad lib. Like when he was in that scene with, what is the voice actor's name for Anakin again?
Matt Lanter.
Matt Lanter.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I won. Steele, Matt Lanter. Steele. I won. 1 point. I do so bad in all these like trivia
oh,
things.
the trivia
so-
things. You gotta buzz in.
Yeah.
But when he was like, he's like, nice shoes. I was like, that's
that's such a good line.
that's your line. That's some ad lib right there. I love that. There's not much ad libbing I think you can do in Star Wars, but I mean, little stuff like that I think just adds personality to a character.
Tell that
They
to Harrison
just asked
Ford.
him, like, hey,
Oh,
Bill,
yeah, he knocked it
you're
out.
going to be yourself in Star Wars, and that's it. That's all
Yeah.
we need.
Just say these lines as you
That was all
and
the direction
action.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't the story that he saw Favreau at some party, some Hollywood swing dick? Like I'm just down the road. I don't know why I'm not getting these invites to these parties, you guys. But apparently they saw each other party. I must have had my phone off or something. But he sort of said, Favreau said to him, "Oh, you should come on. You should do something." And Bill Burr's like going, "You know, what are you talking about? I rail on Star Wars all the time." And he goes, "Yeah, that's why it'd be funny if you came on."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, Bill Burr
But-
notoriously hates Star Wars.
You want me to be on Star
Yeah.
Wars? Give me a gun. Huh?
Couple guns. But what I love about his story about not like, you know, sort of making fun of it for so long and then being a part of it, I don't know if it was on Fallon or what, but he was on some interview and he was saying how he used to like tease these people on his podcasts and stuff. And he's like, they're all so nice. He's like, every person that's come up to me has been like the nice person. They've thanked me. They've been really polite. And he goes, I love these people. So
He's in another target market.
yeah, I would, I know it's a way off, but if you could get Bill Burr to be a panelist at Celebration,
Oh, my God.
like,
Yes, please. Yes, please. Sign me up for that one.
are you kidding me? Because he hosted a Breaking Bad panel at Comic-Con that I went to. It was incredible. But to have, because I remember when Colbert came out at Celebration,
Wow.
like it was just like yes,
Yes.
and it was sort of rad to like.
He was breaking
Like-
everyone's chops. It was great.
Oh,
It was so legit. Like when he
Were
came,
you, were you in the theater for that? Because
Yeah.
we were in the dealer's room
Yeah.
at that center stage trying to watch it. Yeah.
Because I love like a good Star Wars joke, a good joke about Star Wars. It's like my favorite thing. And when he came out, I remember whoever I was next to, I was just like, yeah, that was a good, like, I was like, every like joke he had, it was like a wrestling move. I was just like, yeah. Sick.
All right. Well, we're coming in on an hour here, and Steele, it was great having you on, man. And
Oh wow, that was a fast hour.
yeah, I know that's what
Hold
happens.
on. One thing.
Huh.
You're a wrestling fan as I am. Sasha Banks.
Oh
Is that-
yeah.
Now, does that take you out of? Because I'm wondering if depending on how much she's going to be in the show, I wonder if that's going to take me out of it. Like the one thing that'll take me out of something Star Wars related.
Yeah, but
with,
what about-
with the rest of her visibility in there?
What about Gina Carano?
MMA. Yeah.
Yeah, but but I think that's far behind her, the MMA stuff, and she's been doing a bunch of movies and whatnot. It's really showing her,
Yeah, she has a little more
showing her acting
experience.
chops.
Just a little bit.
Whereas I don't know if they're gonna have like Sasha Banks cutting a promo on somebody and or something like that. I don't know. But
And it'd be funny if they had to make her walk like there was like some electrified fence with like beams going across, and she had to walk through like the ropes.
I was thinking about her getting in with those Gamorreans and like doing some of her like
yes.
Yeah, it's like,
I think because she's going to be acting, like I haven't seen much of her. Like I really follow wrestling a lot on podcasts, like Wrestling Observer and stuff. Like I sort of pay for the VIP, like Dave Meltzer, and Brian Alvarez.
Oh,
I
Brian
just love-
Alvarez. Yeah, yeah.
You don't like Brian Alvarez?
No, I do. No, I do. His recent thing talking about Miro's disaster with his AEW, debut. I was like, I don't know if it's that, I don't know if it's that crazy of a disaster or whatnot, but it was, got a little overzealous, I think.
Yeah, but that's fine. Like it's like just because someone has,
No, I love those guys.
I love Brian Alvarez.
It's them. It's Meltzer to a degree. Wrestle Talk. I think that's probably all I do as far as like any kind of wrestling YouTubers or anything like that.
Okay, yeah, I'm like Figure 4 and then Pro Wrestling Torch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I really enjoy because the backstage gossip and news and goings on and machinations, I find very fascinating, and I love. It sort of influences the way sometimes I analyze Star Wars is how they analyze like what drives business and what's sort of going to generate the most money and stuff like that. So I sort of sometimes feel like I talk about Star Wars a bit differently than some people in some way because I've listened to so much Dave Meltzer analyze. There's more things to keep in mind about like making money and because like the more money they make, the more merchandise they make that's for us, and so it all sort of generates sort of thing. And the more tens of millions of people that subscribe to Disney Plus and watch those episodes over and over, that's like a bigger budget for the next Disney Plus. That's more Mandalorian. Like this isn't like 80s or 90s or 2000s like ratings. This is like a stat. Like this many people watch this show, this many people watch it this many times. Like, do you know what I mean? They've got that's why Netflix is always canceling shows, because they've got an algorithm or whatever, a formula that's like, this isn't making money for us. We've got like people aren't clicking on this that are paying for us. So let's get rid. If people don't want this, let's give them something else. Like now,
no matter how good it is.
Yeah. So I love those. I just like respect the way they report on stuff so much. But as far as Sasha Banks, I haven't because I don't watch that much. I'll watch like the big Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and I'll watch like the documentaries and stuff. I find them really interesting. So I'm not like with her every week, but I think her depiction should be so low key compared to how she is on there. And like, I don't think she's going to be in it that much.
I was saying the same thing.
And probably not speaking that much.
Yeah.
But I like from what I know of her as a person, like I think she's an absolute champ. And like rad. Like the best thing that can happen to a wrestler is finding something to do for a lot of money that's not like falling on your back all week. So good luck to her.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how
I'm eager to see what she does, see what her acting chops are. Like people are like, oh, she's Sabine. I'm like, no. Oh, she's Ahsoka. I'm like, oh no.
She might be a completely new character.
I'm cool.
Wow.
Like someone was saying she may be like what do they call them? The acolytes of the beyond. Like that was something that someone was saying from the
I just feel like hoods and capes are pretty popular in the Star Wars universe. She could be anybody.
I mean, hoods and capes usually mean either Sith or Jedi.
It's true.
Usually.
True.
But a few quick questions before you go, Steele.
Yeah.
Rapid fire. Favorite trilogy?
Original. I got to say, sequel trilogy blew it. They could have won. They could have had it.
What knocked it out for you?
Okay, so in order of sequel trilogy, original
Palpatine.
trilogy.
The Ray Palpatine bullet, yeah.
Okay.
I
if you had to rank the trilogies 1 to 3.
Okay, based on I'll go original, sequel trilogy, prequel trilogy.
Oh, okay.
Because Force Awakens and The Last Jedi are just home runs, and my memories around them, like all the silly adventures and stuff, are like times of my life. So it's like too much to bear sort of thing. Like that has to pop up there.
Your favorite Star Wars movie overall?
Oh, Return of the Jedi. Come on.
Yeah,
That's mine.
I knew that one.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, wait, I might have
favorite,
I should have a figure for that one. Oh, here it is. This is my little Hasbro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you also
nice.
you have that GIF that you like to post up of you having your head superimposed on Luke when he's
Yes.
fighting everybody on the skiff.
So I'm assuming Luke is your favorite overall character.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Favorite Legends content, if any. I'm the Legends guy in this group.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Luke.
that could Shadows of the Empire was pretty rad, and like all the video game and like I'm too scared to read the book now, but at the time I was like, apart from the Shizor Leia thing, which was just odd, that with the scents, the pheromones, like I was just like, this is sick. I know what happens now between these two movies. I'm gonna like watch one, then read the book, then put the next one. Oh, it's gonna be the best. But reading the Thrawn, the Heir of the Empire trilogy, like I was walking past a bookshop and I saw a mobile of R2-D2 and C-3PO in this square thing for the books. And I was like, it was like, I don't know, like 93 or 94. I don't know. It was like that sort of time period.
Yep.
And so just, you know how I was saying at the start, how it might've been before we started the podcast, but like when you're trained to seek out that Star Wars logo, like you just like got this sensor for it. I was walking past this bookshop and I just see an C-3PO at the back of this bookshop out of the corner of my eye. And I walk in.
He zeroed in on it. Yeah.
And I'm just like, do you have Star Wars books? Because like nothing had been, like there was no books in like bookshops. There was no Star Wars books in a bookshop.
That was the dark times, you know, before the prequels or the special editions. Yeah.
And so reading them, like, and just discovering what happened after, you know, for that time after Return of the Jedi, and I was just like so thrilled that I could read about what happened. Like I was like, this is the best.
Mm-hmm.
I can read what happens afterwards. And I was so happy. I wasn't just like, I was sort of just like, it's all the best. You know what I mean? Like that Sam O'Leary thing and whatever, it's like ridiculous. But at the time, I was just like, yeah. So I would go with probably the Thrawn because that really, And I remember like, I was having like gangster Star Wars dreams that like when I was reading that, like I'd go to sleep and I'd just be like pounding out Jedi saber, Falcon. I was living it.
I know exactly what you're talking about with that too. When I started reading the Star Wars books, I started having dreams about it. I was like, "This is awesome!
Star Wars fever dreams.
This is the best."
And,
I just miss them.
Just remember being so take it for granted now, especially now. But I just remember being so happy to be back. Like I was just thrilled. Like I was just like, "This is the best."
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel. Yep.
And I think that was around the time that those Power of the Force figures are coming out, where everyone went to the gym. Like everyone was like super. Like I'm Luke. What's going on? You know?
Oh yeah.
I got the Force. You know, like all that stuff. Yeah.
But that was the same thing. Like that was ridiculous. Like that was super He-Man.
Yeah.
They were ridiculous. But you were just like, I'm just glad they're here. And I've got the Falcon. Like all the vehicles were like sick. But they did like. For me, the golden age of those ones were sort of after the first two drops. The next one had Lando and his abs, his six-pack, you could see through his shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know how
I'm looking at that figure right now. Like I have a rack that's under my TV.
You don't get that with Colt 40s.
He's got pecs. He's like these huge pecs. Like, where's the Gold's Gym on Cloud City?
But then after that, like once they started doing like, they did Palpatine, they did Jabba's prisoner, Leia, Yak, like that was the golden Rebel Fleet Trooper, just bangers that you always wished, and you could go into Toys R Us and there'd be, they even did they did the ones from the comics and the books, and that was crazy. Like I have the Dark Empire. Yeah, yeah.
Figures like
They had
Dark
the fold
Empire,
out-
Luke,
they had
and
the
whatnot.
fold out pop-up thing.
Yeah, so dope.
It's good stuff.
I've totally ruined your rapid fire. I apologize about that.
I think that was it.
Well, Steele, man, thank you again. Is everyone done?
Yeah, we're good, bro.
Thanks again, Steele, for joining us, man.
Yeah, man.
Had a great time having you on. You want to drop your Twitter handle and all that stuff where people can find you?
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, thanks for having us on. I've had the best time. I'm like, I got to be straight up. I'm going bonkers. It's,
Quarantine sucks, man.
I'm like, I just want to see other people. I went and got,
yeah.
I went and got my hair cut the other day. Where they've got this outside sort of thing that you can go to, and you got to wear a mask the whole time. So it's, you know, they've done it all safe. And I've gone to the same the hairdresser, the same lady, for like 3 years. And, you know, we've got this thing where we sit down and then we have a bit of a chat, and then it just sort of fades off. And then maybe we'll, you know, have a few little things, but, you know, we just sit there, cut. She's doing her work. I just couldn't stop talking this time, just the whole time. And I'm just like, hey man, I'm really sorry. I just haven't seen anyone that doesn't live in my street for like 6 months. So I'm just like tripping out. Yeah. She's like, oh yeah, it's good. I don't talk anyway. But yeah, it's crazy. So I've had the best time. And it's, I don't know. I just like the podcasts I listen to and stuff. Like, I just think it's so important to, you know, have those people that sort of keep you company. And because like, we're not built for this.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
No.
it's like I talk to friends and they're like, oh, I don't think I'm handling this as well as I would have thought. And I'm like, what? When would you have ever thought to imagine how you'd handle this? Like, you're doing as best you can. Like, this is not. So yeah, I sort of think it's important to give yourself some slack and go, yeah, this is nuts. Of course you're like, you know, you're feeling like weird and stuff, because it's not, these aren't normal human conditions. No, so not at all. Yeah. So yes, thanks for entertaining me for an hour. I've had a ball.
Thank you, man.
This has been ace.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
And you can follow us at Steele Wars, which is STEELEW or Wars. You know how Wars goes. But my name's Steele, STEELE. And I'm doing these live streams now on YouTube every weekday in the afternoon. So we sort of do the day's Star Wars news and muck about and hopefully make some jokes and stuff. And that's sort of in the afternoon at Steele Wars on YouTube. And then the podcast is on wherever you get podcasts from, I guess, iTunes, Downcast, you know, all the places.
Yeah.
And that's about it. I cannot wait for the Mandalorian to start back up again. And
me neither.
Like, just
great.
Ready.
Just like hot new things to talk about every week. Yeah. It's going to be
that's
in High Republic coming up soon, and
the other thing, High Republic, we're just so lucky that they got it all finished.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, like Star
they
Wars
got right at the edge. Yeah,
Star Wars lucked out. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, and I think we need it. So it's gonna be it's gonna be awesome. But thanks so much. This was sick fun. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
awesome. Tommy, how about you, buddy? Where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Just search Star Wars Savage and I'll pop right up.
Hey, you can put Chewbacca back now if you want.
What about you, Chris?
You'll find me in my living room, ogling all of my Star Wars pop figures.
Well, there's a lot to oogle.
Just a lot.
Just stare at them all.
So much.
Just God, look at this collection. It's magnificent.
Missing one.
Awesome.
Look at you.
And you could also find him at Chris Ryans on Twitter and stuff like that.
As well. I'll be there. Yeah,
I'll walk you there.
I thought he'd be like,
just at Chris Ryans, not with an A, with an O in the Ryans part. But yeah,
I thought it'd be like at Ogle Pop or something like that.
I'll change it right now.
Pop Ogle.
Oogle and Pops.
And you can find me at StaleTarget42 on Twitter and all those other places. And of course,
at
BROAXIUM. Yeah. Those. What? Are we? Really? Thank you all so much for joining us for another episode of Shootin' the Poo-Doo with Steele Saunders as our guest. and may the force be with you.
Oh
yeah.
Thanks, you guys.
It's not over yet.
Fighter, coming in, point 3. This is it. This is it.